Hello folks and welcome to episode 10 of Squares Rail. Sorry I haven't been making these just as regularly. What happened was people have been backing out of every time I wanted to get interviewed, and I had a few people were supposed to come on about that alternative merch that was happening in Derry, but they backed out, and it caused a few episodes to be just going fuck it, and actually I lost hope with the whole thing. I went through a wee fucking suicidal patch here the last fucking week or so, just fucking going what the fuck, which is a topic in itself, but I'll talk about mental health and stuff like that in the next episode. I'm trying to keep this one a bit brighter and airier, but some of the things I want to talk about today, I've actually got a list here, a load of subjects I want to talk about. I'll not actually get them all in here, but as some of the other episodes started talking about fucking, like, drugs and drug experiences and what have you, which there's still a fair few stories left in them there. But as far as substances go, I think I left out alcohol. Now, fucking alcohol is the messiest of them all if you get deep in it. I once heard a man say, you're not a good night's drinking unless you pissed yourself. That's how fucking heavy I could get for some people. To be quite honest, recently I've been drinking a lot, and I would call myself a bit of a recovering alcoholic, hey. It gets a better be like, I turned it when I'm anxious or when I'm down or stressed and stuff. It's an easy gateway to, sedate yourself and get over the fucking shit. It also gives a lot of bravado and confidence, so you'd be phoning up ex-girlfriends and stuff like that and all going, hey, I just think we should talk a bit more, it's just... That's the sort of stuff that can get you into another flip of the coin too, Imagine seeing people suffer from it, a long time. It must be a hell of a come down when you've been blocked for about 5 or 6 years, and then they come down into reality. They say it's a sobering experience, must be an understatement. I've effectively got it on my genes. My old man loves a drink, my ma loved a drink, the other way half a family loved a drink at each side. So it's kind of hereditary when you're an Irishman. It's sort of like the illness that nobody fucking gives a fuck about, because everybody's got it. Seen Norm MacDonald talk about it, saying about how his friend phoned him up and he says, listen Norm, I'm an alcoholic. And he goes, yeah, but one thing about that alcoholism is out of all the diseases you could get, he says, I think you've got the best one. So it's a bit of a shite one. But talking about alcohol stories, I've got an alcohol and an ecstasy mixture here, and it's from an old gaff we used to hang about on. I'll not name the guy, but we'll just call him Sock for short. But he was a fierce alcoholic. He used to come in and beat us up with walking sticks and all when we were wiped out. And he was such a Republican, this boy. When we'd be all wanged off our heads and ecstasy, he'd have all these holy pictures up all around his fucking, in African Sabulu masks and fucking all this mad ornate furniture. It was a guy loving the bog side. It was an absolute madman, this fella. There was a time that flat got so down and out that it had spaghetti hanging off the ceiling. You had every fucking slag and tart coming on it and having sex in his bedroom, and it just got out of hand. But what started off as just us going unfriendly and washing him down and stuff like that became like any Tom, Dick and Harry coming into the flat, and it got fucking taken over at one point, and it was out of our control, and it was just every half what was coming on and partying in his flat. But at the start we used to look after him. We used to get him dinners every day, and fucking when he would get really dirty and his beard would get all messy and all, and we would all shave him down and take him out to the backyard and hose him down with a hose, and he'd be standing out in the backyard half naked, we'd be hosing him down, all go, get that out of here, Darren, hosed him down. And another friend of mine fucking tortured his house with fireworks and all one time. Went in there and got about 100 fucking bangers and black cacks and just let them. He said when he was walking out, he came out with a walking stick, swinging a walking stick, and he was getting at me fireworks up his Jesus Christ. Fucking mad times. But him and another well-known alcoholic in the town, he's probably no Sauce Bradley. He's an old friend of mine, so we used to run around in the same fucking sesh pits together at one time. But he used to be a regular in Sock's house. And one night somebody spiked fucking Sock with ecstasy, and Sock never had ecstasy entire life. I actually know who the culprit was, and he was a lousy bastard to do it, to be honest, because the old fucker couldn't handle that there. But apparently when they spiked him, and when they went back out, another friend of mine walked over to see if he was alright, and he said he was lying in the corner of the fucking living room going like this. That is fucking best buzz I ever had in my life. He was wiped out of his head, rolling around, couldn't even speak properly and what have you. He was going bombed, pickled. 69 years of age, pulling boats, whatever age he was, about 50. Never touched a winner in his life. But him and Sauce Bradley one night, they were taking ecstasy, and they were sitting there holding each other's hands, and they were all like, And Sauce was going to Darren, you know, Sock, you know, oh, I love you, Darren. And Darren was going, I love you too, Sauce. And Sauce was going, no, but Darren, I really love you. And Darren was going, no, Sauce, I really love you. And they would just keep going and what have you, but one thing about ecstasy was, as much as they were hardline alcoholics for nearly 30 odd years of their life, the minute these came on the boat, they would sober up for about fucking 6 or 7 months. They loved them, cured them. But Darren's Socks, as we'll call him, he had another nickname, but I can't mention the man because he's dead now. But Jesus, that flat was mad. A lot of good people in there too looked after him, but a lot of assholes. But I just look at a couple of things I want to talk about here. I've got loads of subjects, but I'll just go straight out and talk about Matthew Smith. If you don't know who Matthew Smith was an early video games designer who designed video games for the Sinclair Spectrum, and that was an old fucking like, you know, sort of like your budget PC back in the 1980s. Was created by a guy called Clive Sinclair, who invented the pocket calculator, I'm nearly sure. I think it was him, aye. And he then went on to make fucking, like, you know, PCs for the home, but these also had a lucrative video game market, where within the Sinclair Spectrum, there was a lot of coders from their bedrooms, the dwellings of their bedrooms, making games. Now most people would make wee balls going around the stream, but some people were adequate at making like fucking platformer games like Mario and stuff. And one of those guys was a guy called Matthew Smith. He invented a video game called Jet Set Willy, and it was a real revolutionary fucking game. Now before I hook you into this boy is an absolute legend and folklore video gaming history. I've actually just looked him up recently on YouTube, and he's a heroin addict. Fucking really tragic case of like a boy with genius brains, excelled throughout his youth, and then just went progressively downhill through fucking drugs, acid, psychedelics, and then progressed on to fucking heroin and crack or whatever the fuck he's on. He's in a really bad way. He's a really mentally ill kind of guy now. But he made these games called Jet Set Willy and Jet Set Minor or whatever it was. But they were like wee fucking platforming games where they had fully fledged animations and people could jump and all, and they were technically quite impressive for the technology of the Sinclair Spectrum at the time. But he went missing, and he was supposed to release Jet Set, well, or a sequel anyway, one of the Manic Miner games, or one of the Jet Set Willy games, and he disappeared. And in folklore, throughout the internet, when the internet came along in the early 90s, there was rumours about him. You know, where is Matthew Smith? Where did he disappear to? Some spotted him making fish in Amsterdam. Some say he joined a commune in Amsterdam. Other people spotted him in Brazil, and with like moccasins on, and said there's all these weird stories that pop up about how people seen him in a shopping market in Cheshire and stuff. And then years later, the mystery went on. Whereas Matthew Smith, no, was kind of like the inventor of Mario, disappeared off the face of the earth. So then, what happened was, me and my cousin Sean were watching a documentary in the year 2000 by a guy called Ian Lee. If you haven't checked this documentary, I recommend you watch it. It's called Fun Candy, and it was presented by Ian Lee on Channel 4 in about 2000. But they managed to fucking track Matthew Smith down, and they had him on the show. And they also had Shigeru Miyamoto, fucking Nolan Bushnell, all the inventor of the Atari games. The researchers on that show done a brilliant job. They tracked down every video game giant. Ian Lee was able to have a game with Shigeru Miyamoto, inventor of Mario and Zelda. Play a game with fucking the inventor of Space Invaders. You know, we played the games with all the top jackets, Pac-Man, you name it. Fucking, he played with them. But strangely enough, they tracked down Matthew Smith, and me and Sean were going, oh, we were two video game geeks and we couldn't believe it. We were going, they've got Matthew fucking Smith, they found him. But he ended up, he was like this mental kiss, living in like a fucking his man's bedroom or something. And but it was so good to see him on that TV show. And one of the things Ian Lee said to him was, you know, how do you feel that 30 years later, 20 years after you've made these video games, people consider you to be, you know, a genius, like a fucking, like a god almost. And he says, well, 5 years after I made it, I was a loser. 10 years after I made it, I was a complete dropout. He said it's come up to 25 years now, and I'm a legend. So it just shows you time remembers people when they do fucking things originally. And that's my wee cue to say I done Northern Ireland voices and dubs first. So take that Strabanter and all the rest of copy me. And Pure Dairy ripped me off too when I started doing song parodies in the town first. Boom, they were straight on that dollar. So being original, you know, is what it's all about for me. It's not about getting success or selling out, which everybody seems to do in my name. But I'm not bitter about it. It's just I do care about originality. But he was a guy that deserved a lot more credit. I think on the show he mentioned that he stole the idea from a guy called, invented a video game called 2049 Miner or something like that there, but it was essentially, Manic Miner was a rip-off of that game. But he was an interesting guy. Matthew Smith, it's actually off his fucking tits now, probably smokes crack. What a thought, eh? Fuck. But favourite arcade games, I've got a couple of lists here, favourite arcade games I like. I'll just go through these quick. UN Squadron, if you don't remember that there, was called Carrier Wing. Brilliant wee game, hey. Brilliant wee game, really fucking shoot 'em up, fucking cracker. You know, you had a like be strategic with your weapon choices and all to get the most points in each stage. It's an arcade classic. It used to be played quite a lot in Woody's in the Bogside. People loved that. It was also quite popular down in the Downlands in Port Rush. If any of you remember the old arcade down there, or not the Downlands, or not Port Rush, the Downlands. I remember the arcade down there, but I used to hang about down there years and years ago in the 90s. All I used to hear playing on the fucking speakers was that fucking song, What's Up? No, what was it again? 25 years and my life is still trying to get it back. Great big hill of hope. Playing that there, they play all the fucking time. That's all you hear down the place. But Carrier Win was some game. Hey, brilliant graphics made by Capcom. They also made Ghouls and Ghosts, which is a fucking brilliant wee game. In fact, there's a series of fucking shoot 'em ups that Konami and Contra made. that I would be a big fan of. It's probably Ghouls and Ghosts, Sunset Riders, and Contra. Contra, if you don't remember, was pretty popular in early Nintendo, but then there was an arcade version of it too that was fucking stellar, but the Super Nintendo version for me will always be the best. But UN Squadron, Ghouls and Ghosts, Sunset Riders, and Contra. Ghouls and Ghosts was fucking brilliant. That was another game I played down in the Downlands. Ghouls and Ghosts, hey. That was so hard. I remember I used to have a wee crowd around me playing that down in the arcades in the Downlands. I used to be able to get dead far. No bother to me. Of course I put about £40 on it before I could get that good, but it was fucking lethal though. All wee kids sitting around going, hey look this boy here, a wee crowd around me and me go. Yo! That was amazing. That was fucking amazing. I was the best. I was the best at that game. I really was. I was the best at that game. But I've got a few other things I want to talk about, but never mind that. We'll get over the video games. I think we'll talk about some of the making of the fucking of the videos I've made. The thing about making them videos that I do for a load of years, which I'm sort of saying bye-bye to now, but on the final approaches, the sort of ending all that material and moving on to bigger, more adventurous stuff. But Jesus, they were hard to produce, you know, on your Jack tab with no fucking funding and no professionals around you or anybody that knew how to use a video camera. In fact, the fact that some of them videos were made is a bit of a miracle in itself. It really is, like, because some of them videos were thought about a lot and they execute them, trying to get a load of fucking chavs that drink most of the week. They get inspired to make a video for some half-wit like me. It was hard work, but I fucking did it and I'm proud of them. I'm more proud of them. As low-fi and as low budget and as sort of crummy as they are, they're a testament that you can't art from the fucking streets with no funding or third party influences. That's what I loved about the internet, you know, you could get it out there like that. But the making of Rats Up in Craigan, which I plan on a wee sequel to, that was a fucking achievement itself. We got the red sauce out and all that day, and Adam and Sean, they came along, they didn't know how the fuck to get going. They were going, what are we going to do, what are we going to do? I said, just fucking do it, hey. Adam was fucking, he was just out of his fucking bed. He goes, alright, fuck it, I'll do it, I'll get on board these. And we went round Craigan, all the different sites, smoking blunts. Them two boys go, this boy's off his fucking head, all he wants to do is make stupid videos, but they got involved anyway. And funnily enough, and the scene where Adam gets pulled round the corner through to the ground in the Celtic top, and it says rat out or whatever the fuck it says on the wall. He actually gets fucking 3 stitches in his finger when that happened. So I feel like I'm behind the movie magic, talking about the struggles that came to make a serious piece. He fucking busted his whole fucking thumb open. Yeah, I see it's a big cut all around his thumb. Proper gore. Compared to the red sauce was through all over his fist when he was lying on the fucking floor squealing. Just getting all the red sauce. Squeeze it. Go on, Adam, just get the red sauce. Your fist will look good, the camera. Spread the fuck out of me cunt. That's what you gotta do if you want to make a hit. You gotta make it quick. But and Streets of Glenfada too. Rimmon never held a camera his entire life. But people always say to me when they say that, who was your cameraman? I said, you like to think he's good, but I talk about fucking 12 hours of torching the bastard to get certain shots right. In fact, that light actually changed that much, trying to get one shot, then another shot. When and that walking down by the flyover, I was done in the early morning. By the time we got the fucking video done, it was like end of the day. That shot alone took about fucking 40 minutes, 50 minutes of retakes and retakes, because we didn't have a, you know, like a dolly, you know, like a dolly's like a funny slide along the road to get really slow pan shots. He had to do that with his wee feet stammering along. He was going like that there along the ground, and the camera was shaking. I kept going, no, Rimmon, you gotta get the intensity. And we actually didn't even get the shot the way it should have came out, but we got it We got it reasonably close to the film, the way it panned down from the sky and came on to me, and then we walked along, you know what I mean? It was good to get that done. And even that time where the car came up, Rumen that said that all happened like magic. He said that luckily enough there's a big car, and we done a couple of ticks of the one where the car passed through, and then it went onto the mural. And me walking down saying about never get bullied again or something like that. There was some line about in the film, and but luckily enough there was a big car just like in the original video came flying up, and it was just a golden shot. He was supposed to come over close to my camera, but it didn't come out. But fucking making them is good, hey? And see, making them just with people that never made videos before, it's like they're a learning experience in themselves. And Rumen's actually fucking made most of my videos for me. Any videos that I made needed a second cameraman. He's made most of them. And our boy was called Jerry. He made the one down in Yellowsbone Crana, but they're usually just 2-man jobs. And the cameramen that do them are pure amateurs, so it's real raw fucking art, you know what I mean? It's real raw from the streets art. No, there's no production values, there's no budget, there's no fuck all, just pure creativity and trying to mimic the videos. And another thing that's done with the videos too is I always go for a video that can't be replicated with a cheap shitty camera, where you can almost get the essence of it with like moderate equipment. You know, it's not like them videos are choosing specifically. I'll actually look at certain videos and go, yeah, we can emulate that. It's not so much that the idea comes in it. I'll look for things that can be emulated with shitty equipment. So making them is good. Making our rats up in Craigan was good too. We were stoned that day, we had a great laugh, eh? But sadly Adam went home, obliterated, flum obliterated, flum obliterated, flum obliterated, thumb obliterated, thumb obliterated, thumb obliterated. But I had a few other things I wanted to talk about. But if you ever get a chance, check out them games. Sunset Riders, Contra on the NES, and Super Probotector on the Super Nintendo, Ghouls and Ghosts, and New End Squadron, all are known as Carrier Wing. But folks, I think we'll leave it at that there. Just a wee short one today, 22 minutes, because you know what? I'll get back onto these and I'll do them more regularly. But for today, I think I'll do it enough. Never let the bastards grind you down. Up life.